No new Masked Singer episode? No problem. Our Masked Singer detective Kyle makes a bonus reveal on this week's episode of the recap show. Let's go. Hi, I'm Mel.
And I'm Kyle.
And welcome to the Talent Recap Show. Usually I would say it was another great week on The Masked Singer, but there was no new episode. Kyle, what are we doing? What should we do? We have no new episode.
You know what? I think everyone's favorite part is a prediction anyways. Let's just get right into another prediction.
I love that idea. Kyle, who do you want to reveal on this week's episode of The Masked Singer Recap?
Yeah, we are going to reveal the Queen of Hearts.
Now, oh my God, I'm excited for this because I feel like this is someone real epic. A lot of people in the comments want to know who this is, so this is major, Kyle. Let's debunk some people though. Who do you want to debunk?
All right, so first of all, a guest that we've seen from the panelists and a lot online is Kellie Pickler, the country singer who was famous for her time on American Idol. And but there's nothing in the Queen of Hearts clues that mentions a competition show or anything, which I feel like is a pretty crucial part of Kellie Pickler's story. So it's weird that there's no mention of that. There's also no mention of like TV and all of her hosting gigs, which is a huge part of what she's done as well. And just another note, Kellie Pickler is only 5'1", so she is a very small person. And they haven't mentioned, Queen of Hearts being especially small or anything. And she doesn't look that much shorter than Nick Cannon. So based on all of that, we have to say that rumor is debunked.
Totally.
Yep. And the second prediction we've seen a lot is Jessica Simpson. And looking into her a little more, there's no connection to Wizard of Oz there from what we can see. She didn't have an especially hard childhood, which is also something that, this person mentioned going through things kind of as a child. There's no mention of some of her most iconic roles like Dukes of Hazzard or Newlyweds, which is something that I expect to see in the clue package. And also, love Jessica Simpson as I do. I don't think she has this voice. So based on all of that, we have to say that rumor is also debunked.
Listen, I gotta agree with you because back in the day, she had me in a chokehold. She had the bops, okay? And I'm gonna say that is not her voice. That being said, please let us know who is the Queen of Hearts.
All right, so the Queen of Hearts is putting on this thick Southern accent, and this is someone who's known as a country singer. The Tin Man was also one of the clues, and her first TV appearance was in The Wizard of Oz in concert. Her whole costume is a nod to one of her albums, Goodbye Alice in Wonderland. And we saw one of the first clues of the season that her strength was standing still. And that is the title of one of her songs. All of that to be said, the Queen of Hearts is...
Drum roll.
Jewel.
Listen, once you just gave that rundown, I already knew who it is. I used to love her, but I feel like I haven't heard from her in a minute. So give us the rundown. Why is the Queen of Hearts Jewel?
Definitely, and she's another perfect candidate for the Masked Singer because of that. So let's go through some of the clues. One, she mentioned there wasn't a lot of warmth in her house growing up, which I think can be taken as, this was a hard childhood or anything like that. But Jewel literally grew up in a house with no heat or running water in Alaska.
I grew up in a log cabin with no electricity, no running water, no plumbing.
And so that clue was very specific and seems perfect for her. She also talks about leaving home at a young age, and she received a scholarship to go to the Interlochen Arts Academy at 15, and so she moved to Michigan. We also saw a ghost in her clues, and that could be a nod to her song Haunted or her second album, which is titled Spirit. We saw a picture of Hilary Swank in a BFF picture frame, and Hilary Swank and Jewel actually are friends. She talks in her first clues about picking up the pieces, and Jewel has albums called Pieces of You and one that's literally called Picking Up the Pieces. So these are both nods to her albums. She talks about being shy, and Jewel has said in interviews before that when she's not on stage, she's a very shy person. We saw a quill in her last clue package, and Jewel has written 3 books, including a book of poetry. We also saw her go through an app and kind of goes through some of her dating history, and we actually saw nods to Jewel's real dating history. One of them said action star, and she's dated Jean-Claude Van Damme, the action star. We saw a guy with long hair, and she dated Charlie Whitehurst, aka Clipboard Jesus, who had long hair. She also dated Sean Penn and was married to Ty Murray, so she does have a little bit of a history dating well-known people. And so I think that ties into her whole dating app theme. And lastly, she mentioned a roast and when she was talking to Ken, and Jewel participated in the roast of Rob Lowe on Comedy Central.
You were high on so much cocaine.
So again, there are so many clues that all point to Jewel, and that voice is unmistakable. And so all of that just proves that the Queen of Hearts is Jewel.
Kyle, listen, if anybody wants to be a Masked Singer detective, I'm going to tell you, quit while you're at it now, because Kyle has got this on lock. I'm still stuck on her not having any heat in Alaska. I love how far she's come. But I just thought, just hearing the clues and thinking about her performances and the voice, that is definitely Jewel. I can't disagree with you. You guys, let us know in the comments. Do you agree with Kyle? Do you disagree? Did he miss any clues? Let us know in the comments below. If you think he's totally wrong and is not going to get this right, please give us who you think is the Queen of Hearts and why do you think that it is not Jewel. Kyle, I mean, how do you do this? Tell us, how do you do it?
I'm just waiting. Once she starts yodeling in one of the performances, no one will have any questions anymore. That's going to be the last straw. So we're just waiting for that moment.
Listen, you're just going to take that dust off your shoulder and be like, I told you guys, I told you. But I think it's time for us to wrap up this week's episode. It's been really fun, even though we had nothing to watch. We're excited to see the following episode. Kyle, let us know where we can find you on socials.
Yeah, you can find me at KMonPleasure on Instagram and Twitter.
And then you could find me at _MELBAE. But make sure, most importantly, you're following Talent Recap on all social platforms. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. I don't know. Everywhere you can imagine, we have a social profile, you guys. So make sure you're following us. And I think it's time for us to say, and that's our Talent Recap.
Hey, what are you doing tonight? Well, I think you should hit the subscribe button down below and then we can talk.